we're going to turn it over to you right now for the prospect update. And this is someone I've been watching all season long, putting up some really exciting numbers. Logan Stankoven of the Dallas Stars is looking like quite a steal. So tell me what you're seeing in him, why you're excited about him.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Logan Stankoven. He's someone where he got drafted 47th overall in 2021. And I think kind of just across the board, if you watched him play beforehand, you're like, no, he's way better than that. But the big thing about him is, ironically, his size, which is 5'8". So he's not a big player. And I think that's what scared a lot of scouts. And it's one thing to go out there and dominate junior. It's another thing to be undersized and try to thrive in the NHL. And we are continuously seeing some very high quality prospects that are smaller every year. But again, that's still the exception. It's not the rule when it comes to the size of players. And whether that's fair or not, that's up to you. But when it comes to Stankoven, he's a guy that I think will have no problem thriving when he hits the Dallas Stars. And, this year can almost be considered a bit of a disappointment because he didn't go out there and beat his point total from last year. He had 104 points last year. He had 97 this year. He did play fewer games. He played actually 11 fewer games. So that is understandable, but I think a lot of people kind of expected an even bigger offensive jump. But regardless, no reason to be concerned about him with the way he dominated Kamloops. He had a good World Junior tournament. It felt quieter compared to the summer tournament a year ago, but he actually had more points this year. It was just, I think the difference was Connor Bedard looked like Connor Bedard. But the way he drives plays, the way he brings the speed to this game, it's just like, man, he's going to be such a huge piece for the Dallas Stars, a team that continues to make some very good draft picks in the last couple of years. So I do think he's someone that once he cracks the NHL, he's going to be a top six forward. He's an incredible faceoff man. Last 2 years led the World Juniors in faceoff percentage, but he also can play on the wing. So if Dallas feels like that's the better way to get him started to see if some of those guys he can play with, that's a very good opportunity there. But I think that Logan Stankoven's a guy that's going to be getting 60 points quite quickly in the NHL. And I don't know, maybe he's an 80-point guy down the line. So, you don't go out there and get over 100 points as a draft plus one player unless you're really good, because, it's one thing to go out there and be a point per game player as a draft prospect. And he didn't get to really do that because of the COVID year, but the way he answered, and it was almost 2 points per game, that's just unbelievable. So this is a guy that's going to have no problem scoring in the NHL. He's a strong player for his size. I don't think he's going to be someone who's going to be physically intimidated all the time. So Dallas got a great one there.
Yeah, and it's pretty intriguing to think of where the Dallas Stars were just in the bubble tournament in 2020. Yeah. There was a perception that it was the last ride for this old team, and they've reloaded so well because of their drafting. Got to give props to their director of amateur scouting, Joe McDonnell, because they've just keep hitting home runs, whether it's Jake Ottinger, Rupe Hintz, Jason Robertson. It's not like they're picking these guys top five. They're finding these guys as gems, and they just keep. I can't talk today, can I? They keep finding these steals. And the exciting thing about Stankoven is that it would give Dallas the ability eventually to drop Tyler Seguin down to a long-term third-line role. You can not have to rely on your older guys as much. And, of course, you also have Wyatt Johnson, who's made the team this year too. So they just can't miss right now. Very exciting stuff.